In a world where dreams are often broken before they begin, where pain speaks louder than hope, and where millions feel invisible, there is still light. A light that comes from real stories. Stories of failure, struggle, courage too, and rise. Welcome to a place where we don't just tell stories, we awaken souls. This is your reminder that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you can always get back up. This is for the ones who grew up without support, for the ones who were told, "You're not good enough," for the ones who tried and failed again and again. But guess what? Failure isn't final, pain isn't permanent, and dreams don't expire. On this channel, you'll hear stories of people who came from nothing and changed everything. Not because they were lucky, but because they didn't give up. Presidents, orphans, scientists, warriors, legends not born special, but made by struggle. And you're not just watching, you're the next story. You're the next voice. You're the next flame. If you're tired, lost, or feel like giving up, pause, breathe, and stay. Because here, in this corner of the internet, we believe in second chances, in silent warriors, in ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So welcome, dear soul. Welcome to a journey of hope, truth, and inspiration. Welcome to the place where broken wings learn to fly again. Welcome to Master English Stories. Now let's begin with a story that might just change everything. Barack Hussein Obama was not born in a palace nor into power. He was born on August 4th, 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii, a place far from the political heart of America. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was from Kenya. His mother, Ann Dunham, was a white woman from Kansas, USA. They met at a university and fell in love. But soon after Barack was born, his father left. Barack's parents divorced when he was only 2 years old. Young Barack was raised mostly by his mother and grandparents. His mother worked hard and taught him important values: to be honest, kind, and to always do his best. But life wasn't easy. They didn't have much money. Sometimes Barack felt lost. He didn't look like most other kids. He was both black and white. He didn't always know where he belonged. But one thing was clear: he was smart. His mother woke him up early in the morning before school to study. She believed in him deeply. "You can be anything," she would say, "but you have to work for it." In his teenage years, Barack struggled. He tried to find his place in the world. At times, he made bad choices. He drank. He used drugs. He admitted these things later, not with pride, but with honesty. He was searching for something purpose. But then, something inside him changed. He realized he didn't want to waste his life. He wanted to do something good. He moved to Los Angeles to study at Occidental College. Later, he transferred to Columbia University in New York City. He studied political science and dreamed about how he could help people. But even after graduation, life wasn't easy. He had student loans. He worked small jobs. He lived simply. He wasn't chasing money, he was chasing meaning. Barack Obama moved to Chicago, a city filled with poverty and violence. He didn't go there to get rich. He went to serve. He worked as a community organizer on the South Side, helping poor families, jobless workers, and struggling children. It was tough work. Many days, nothing changed. Some people didn't trust him. Others gave up. But Barack didn't stop. He knocked on doors, sat in cold church basements, and listened to people's stories. Slowly, he built trust. He learned that change takes time, but it starts with listening, love, and action. He once said, "The best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something." After working in Chicago, Barack decided to go to law school. He applied to Harvard, one of the most prestigious schools in the world, and got accepted. That was a big deal, but what happened next was even bigger. At Harvard Law School, Barack didn't just study, he stood out. He became the first black president of the Harvard Law Review, a very powerful position among students. That had never happened before. People across the country noticed, but Barack stayed humble. He once said, "I have never been content to sit back and wait for good things to happen. I believe in making them happen." After Harvard, Barack returned to Chicago. He didn't take a big corporate job. Instead, he worked for the people. He married Michelle Robinson, a strong, smart woman who also cared deeply about helping others. They were a powerful team. Together they lived modestly, raised 2 daughters, and served their community. In 1996, Barack ran for the Illinois State Senate and won. Later, in 2004, he ran for the U.S. Senate and gave a speech that electrified the nation. "There is not a black America and a white America," he said. "There is the United States of America." People began to see something special in him, hope. In 2008, Barack Obama ran for president. People laughed at first. "He's too young," they said. "He has a funny name," they joked. "America isn't ready." But Barack didn't listen to the noise. He believed in people, and people believed in him. He traveled city to city, town to town, shaking hands, listening, inspiring. His message was simple but powerful. Yes, we can. And on November 4th, 2008, history was made. Barack Obama became the 44th President of the United States, the first African American to ever do so. But for him, the real win was not power. It was proving that anything is possible when you have hope, work hard, and care about others. When Barack Obama took office in January 2009, the world was in trouble. The U.S. economy was crashing. People were losing their homes, their jobs, and their hope. It was one of the worst financial crises in American history. Obama didn't panic. He worked day and night with his team to create solutions. He helped save the auto industry, supported struggling banks, and passed laws to give people jobs and health care. Many people criticized him. Some said he was too slow. Others said he was changing too much. But Obama didn't give up. He kept moving forward. He always believed that real change takes time, courage, and patience. In his words, "Making your mark on the world is hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it." Barack Obama was not just a politician. He was a storyteller, a man who could move hearts with words. In difficult times, he gave speeches that gave people hope. When there was violence, he spoke of peace. When there was division, he spoke of unity. His words were not magic, but they reminded people that they were not alone, and that together they could face anything. His famous quote still echoes, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." Even as President Obama stayed grounded. He played basketball with friends. He read books every night before bed. He helped his daughters with homework. He made time for Michelle. He didn't forget where he came from, the boy with no father, raised by a single mom who sometimes felt invisible. That memory kept him humble. He once said, "My identity might begin with the fact that I'm African American, but it doesn't end there. I'm also a father, a husband, a Christian, a citizen." In 2017, after 8 years, Obama left the White House, but he didn't retire. He started the Obama Foundation to inspire young leaders. He wrote books to teach lessons he had learned. He traveled the world, speaking about climate change, justice, and the importance of democracy. He didn't chase fame. He didn't build businesses for profit. He focused on service. He reminded the next generation that leadership is not about position, it's about purpose. Barack Obama's life is not a fairy tale. It's a fight, a real story of failure, confusion, and pain, but also of healing, effort, and triumph. He failed in early elections. He doubted himself. He was criticized, insulted, even threatened, but he never let pain define him. Instead, he turned wounds into wisdom. This is his real gift to the world. Proof that no matter your background, color, or past, if you work hard, stay kind, and never give up, you can rise. Maybe you feel lost. Maybe you've failed more than once. Maybe your life is hard, no money, no father, no help. Maybe people laugh at your dreams. But remember Obama's story. He had nothing and gave everything. He fell but stood back up. He chose service over selfishness. And in the end, he changed the world. So don't quit. Read, learn, help others, stay honest, be brave, and keep walking even when the road is dark. Because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Even before he became president, Barack Obama fought for those who were unheard, the poor, the forgotten, the misunderstood. He didn't wait for power to speak truth. He didn't wait for a title to make a difference. As a community organizer in Chicago, he helped people find their own strength to fight for jobs, for housing, for education. He once said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person. We are the ones we've been waiting for." This mindset of action, not excuses, shaped his life and leadership. Not all battles happen in public. Some of the hardest wars are inside your mind. Obama often felt like an outsider too. Black for some, not black enough for others. Too young, too inexperienced, too idealistic. He had to silence the voice in his head that whispered, "You're not good enough." He learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. He stood tall, not because he had no fear, but because he refused to be ruled by it. So when you hear that voice inside saying, "You can't," respond like Obama did. Watch me. Power can change people. But Obama believed that power without kindness is dangerous. He respected even those who disagreed with him. He listened more than he spoke. He smiled, shook hands, hugged strangers. He stayed human even as the world saw him as a symbol. He taught us that the strongest leaders are not the loudest, but the most loving. He believed in dignity for himself and for everyone else. Behind every strong man, there is often a stronger woman. Michelle Obama was not just a wife, she was a partner, an advisor, a leader. She believed in Barack even when he doubted himself. She reminded him of his roots, his mission, his soul. Their love was not perfect, but it was powerful. They raised 2 daughters in the White House with grace and humility. They showed the world that love and leadership can live in the same house. They were a team not just for themselves, but for millions. Obama passed important laws on healthcare, climate, education, and more. But his greatest gift was not policy, it was possibility. He made people believe again that someone with a funny name, a different background, and a broken past could lead a great nation. He reminded people that their voice matters, that dreams are worth chasing, and that kindness is strength. His true legacy is not what he did, but what he inspired others to do. Obama's story is still being written not just by him, but by you. Yes, you, the reader who wants to give up, the one with empty pockets, silent nights, and painful memories. Remember this: Obama didn't become a hero overnight. He failed, he cried, he almost quit, but he kept showing up for his people, his purpose, and his future. Now it's your turn. You may not have fame, money, or power, but you have a voice, a dream, a reason to wake up. Use it, because someone out there needs your story next. And so the story comes to an end. But your journey, it's just beginning. Maybe you felt a piece of yourself in this story. Maybe something deep inside you whispered, "I can try again." And that's the real purpose of this channel. To remind you that you're not alone. To wake up the dreamer inside you. To give light to the part of you that still believes. No matter where you are, no matter how dark it feels, there is still a path forward. One small choice, one brave step, one powerful decision. And remember, broken doesn't mean finished. Lost doesn't mean hopeless. And quiet doesn't mean weak. You're still here, and that means something beautiful is still possible. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, stay inspired. This was Master English Stories, where every soul deserves a second chance.